FIFA announced it is launching a new token. Will it be minted on Algorand? We will look at that today. Plus, Algorand removing more stakes from the staking pool, which is helpful for people who are running nodes. Peer-to-peer gossip coming, and is this the future of Algorand? Plus, Algorand releases its latest insight report on all the latest metrics from the Algorand ecosystem. We will look at all that today on today's Frugal BC. Now, kind of an unusual show today because X has been down. I haven't been able to get into X, so I had to do prep for the show a little bit differently. So you'll see that today, but lots of good news. By the way, if you appreciate this, you want to help bring X back for BC, please hit that like and subscribe button. Now remember, you don't have to smash it. You can actually just press it ever so gently and it works just fine that way too. And we do have channel memberships starting at only $1. You can get videos before anyone else and exclusive videos at higher tiers. So check that out on the main page. Join the Frugalnauts today. And we are brought to you by non-fungible domains. Guys, this is the way to do everything in Algorand so much easier. If you want that .algo address, you check out non-fungible domains right in the description. And we are brought to you by Marcus Aurelius, a meme coin and NFT project on the Algorand blockchain. And we just shared looks like they got some little physical kitty cats coming, but they got NFTs, the meme coins out there. It's really fun. So I'm a big fan of this project. So go check them out in the description below. Join the little Stoic army. And let's get to today's show. That's enough of that. And like I said, it's going to look a little differently because we were not able to access most of X today, which is really bizarre. Kind of a really, it shows how important it is to the Algorand or for crypto ecosystem. So much stuff gets shared on X before it goes anywhere else. I got to give them credit for that, but also that means it needs to be up. So kind of a huge wrench in the works when it is down. But let's get to this first one. Algorand removes more stake. Now, as part of node incentivizations, is that the Algorand Foundation is removing stake, which allows you guys to get more rewards. So let's take a look at this. And I think it's really telling that the one that we're covering, this one Reddit post, is also a screenshot of a X post. It really is, compared to trying to do prep on Reddit, is way worse than doing on X. It just is. Like the news is so far behind. Anyway, as of today, we've removed 306 million algo from the Algorand Foundation staking. This marks the highest level of decentralization in Algorand's history and the lowest foundation held stake ever. Community-led online stake now makes up 20% all Algorand in circulation. That's pretty cool. Now, the whole point is like they want to get their stake out of there, and it's a couple of key points. The Algorand Foundation does not take profits from their stake, so they just forego the rewards. But them not earning blocks means that other people will complete blocks, so it'll be more. It actually, as they take their stake out, it actually does help you guys who are running nodes. And like I said, and I have videos on this, I have a Substack post on this, all the different ways that you can run a node. You don't need 30,000. You need 30,000 to run a node and earn rewards directly, but there's also Valar, there's ready pools you can join, there's liquid staking. I'm personally doing liquid staking right now, so something to keep in mind. Be sure to check that out, but let's get to the next news item. And that is that peer-to-peer gossip network is coming soon that will eliminate the need for relay nodes. And now that we have incentivized staking, this is a really big deal. It's coming really soon. John Allen Woods had a good post about it. I had saved it on my bookmarks on X, but no X. So let's take a look at this here. And it's also about the future of Algorand, which I think is interesting. So just a thought in question: once we transition to a P2P peer-to-peer gossip network, no need for relay nodes, and we already have incentivized staking, post-quantum secure, decentralized nodes with minimal computing requirements. Totally true. Easy coding via native Python. By the way, Python is great. I'm actually learning how to code the Game of Life program on Python right now. I'm going through a tutorial. Python's like pretty easy to use. And it's kind of like usually they call it the second best programming language on just about anything you want to do. It's such a diverse language. And can Algorand survive without Algorand Technologies or the Algorand Foundation? I'm wondering whether down the road, if for some reason the cash burn is too high and the company that runs Algorand simply folds up, can the blockchain through our decentralized nodes carry on? I think so, yes. A network for the people, open to the people, completely permissionless to use and build on. Yeah, no, the only difference is this would be a good question for someone higher up the chain than me, but I think if the foundation disappeared and ink disappeared, it would keep running because it's being supported by the nodes, especially once the foundation gets their stake out. Well, I guess if they collapsed, it would just, stake would go away right away, right? Probably in a less ramped up section, I guess. So, but yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and yeah, it would keep going. It just wouldn't, there'd be nobody, like, as far as I know, there would be nobody continuing to build or improve the network, so it'd be kind of at stasis. So that's like one of the things is when you get into more of the philosophical side of crypto, it's like, well, what does decentralized mean? How decentralized should decentralized be? Because if it had been completely, there was no foundation whatsoever, obviously there wouldn't be any, who would be working on the improvements? I don't know. Would it be open source? Would people just be able to, would it be done in a consensus fashion? I'm not really sure. So I think that's an interesting thing. This is interesting. My take on this is not as linear. I don't believe we will be stuck on the P2P gossip network alone, because for institutions to comply with regulations and operational consistency, they may require a fixed block time. I don't think that's very interesting. Let's go back to here, because they asked something else too, right? Yeah, it'd be open source, so it'd be up to us to continue to maintain the code base. But what about improvements, and how would that work? Like, the governance structure would have to be in place that we can all vote on this, and then that introduces issues too, because who can vote? Like, should people who have no idea about blockchains? I mean, listen, I study this stuff for the channel all the time. Like, I've spent a lot of time learning on this stuff, but I don't know what it looks like on the back end. I don't know how to code for the blockchain. And, I tried reading the white paper of Algorand. It's like, man, you got to understand some high level math to get through that. So that's always the challenge, right? It's like, this is why in local government, you have representatives, because there's a lot of stuff that looks one way on the surface. And then when you dive into the nuts and bolts, you understand, like, there's a reason why certain things are the way they are. And what you see a lot of the times is that people struggle because they think if people just voted on stuff, they would vote on that surface level. And most people just aren't going to take the time to learn, study in depth the stuff that goes on, say, at local government. And I think the same thing is here. Like, even with the governance, I don't think a lot of people are diving into each issue super deep. So just some thoughts to think about, but we got more on the agenda. That's that Algorand released its latest insight report for February 2025. So we're going to look at a few of the highlights on that. The main thing they're highlighting here is the increase in nodes. Notable growth metrics include a 9.5% increase in nodes and 24.43% increase in total stablecoins market cap, of course driven by USDCA. Let's see, transactions were up, total transactions were up 2.5%, total wallets up 2%, monthly active users down a little bit, 11%, so that's not so good. Like I said, nodes 9.5%, and yeah, TVL dropped a lot. RWA actually went up a little bit. Yeah, that's a huge drop because the thing with TVL is that when the price goes down, it affects the numbers. So it's not that it's a bad metric, but it doesn't mean like less amount of algo, say, is put in. In fact, if you look at the difference, they have TVL and algo, and that's only minus 2.59%. So that shows you that a lot of it was about price, but actually people did take a little bit out too. So it's not entirely price. It's just I would say a big portion of price based on those numbers. Stablecoin market cap going up a lot. That's good. Contracts deployed quite a bit less. That's interesting too. New assets created were down. That's okay. I think honestly we've got enough coins. We don't need more, but more will keep coming, so it doesn't matter. And then they kind of share their social, which is 34,000 views. It must be. Well, they had a lot. They had a big jump. They got good numbers. Their X account went up, and apparently they have Instagram too. I didn't know that. And then these are just some of the views. Now this is really telling, because look at how much this is like monthly. And it really once incentives came in place, it's actually over 5,000 now. This is what's interesting. This is February 28th. It's actually at 5,200 right now. So that's a big deal. And I think we covered the Q4 Masari report, which is very positive. Yeah, the Algo Radio, they've been doing those, which is interesting. I was trying to, by the way, you have until March 13th to vote on governance, so keep that in mind. We covered it last week. on what the votes are, you can go check out that video. Let's see. Oh yeah, they had Max Ball, who is co-founder of Alpha Arcade, also the co-founder of Lofty. Alpha Arcade is the prediction market on Algorand, so that's cool. And then I actually got some merch from ETH Denver that some folks sent me. Big shout out to Michael Jordan, by the way. And I made a little video on X, so when X is actually working again, you can go see that. And just a roundup of stuff, especially the biggest one here, FIFA Plus Collect hit a milestone of 10 million transactions. And you know what? That goes perfectly into our last item here. So why don't we transition over to that? And that last item is that FIFA announced at the White House Crypto Summit on Friday that they are going to be launching their own coin. Now, the reason why people in Algorand are excited about it is because Algorand has already been minting its NFTs. I say Algorand, FIFA has already been minting its NFTs on Algorand. So it would be sensical that they would then and launch their coin on Algorand. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so this is kind of just to talk about it, but 1.5 million 359, 1.5 million basically number of NFTs minted on Algorand. Yeah, and they just had 10 million transactions. And here he says, yeah, announced to President Trump, the FIFA president announced to President Trump that FIFA plans to develop its own crypto in America. They mentioned on here the partnership back then in 2022. I know a lot of people, including myself, were somewhat critical because the World Cup FIFA didn't seem to be doing anything to promote their own NFTs during the World Cup event, which I found very surprising. And I didn't necessarily think they had to mention Algorand, but it was surprising to me that they weren't promoting their own NFT series, because I thought like that seems like, why wouldn't you, right? I mean, this is your business. Like, why wouldn't you promote it on your? It was just very strange. So, but yeah, I've seen people say Hedera, and listen, I love Hedera, but it would make way more sense for FIFA to launch its coin on Algorand. The one concern might be user base, which has been growing a lot, but I think the fees on ETH would make it hard. I think Solana's unreliability would make it not a great example. So I would say Algorand has a really good chance, but nothing is guaranteed. And as I said, logic isn't always the best guiding principle when you're trying to predict what will happen in crypto, because, well, a lot of not logical things happen in crypto, but we'll see. All right, that is all we got for this week. We'll probably have a ton more because I assume X will get its act together and be functional as it's supposed to. It might be right now for all I know, but thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you got something out of this. Stay safe out there. Not your keys, not your crypto. I know price action really sucks right now, and it seems like the more good news we have around crypto, the more the price drops. So maybe we need Gary Gensler back so we can pump our bags again. I don't know. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Relax. Anyway, I'm FrugalBC. I'm FrugalBC. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the future.